College? Classic? Did you say college classic divine help? No, you did, because we're not divine help. This is divine help. And this is college classic campus hits. God bless you. Well, it's tithing time, and you got to give your tithes to someone. Where do you go? Well, you can call TBN and give them money. Or you can call Harvest Crusades and give them money. But every first of the month, if you're not in a church, just call one of the ministries and give 10%, 5%. If you're a new tither, whatever you want to give would be good. You can call Kenneth Copeland Ministries and give to them. Or Salvation Army. As long as you do in the name of God, Salvation Army will take your tithes. So, are your local church, 412, you can go to 412 and give to Pastor Tom. Of course, he'll probably want to fight you if he sees you in the parking lot and you're not going to church here and you're tithing? What's the matter with me? Come on, put them up, come on, come into church, come on! So, you don't have to worry, about all his deacons because they'll come out and want to jump you. And that's just because you're leaving. What, you didn't come into the church? You're just going to pay your tithes? No, you're not getting away. But don't go to Calvary Chapel Chino because the pastor there, he'll abduct you. You're not going nowhere. I said, Pastor Jack, let me go. You're not going nowhere. You're going. Okay. Blessed with the new home and a new car. Send me another golden California. Dear St.Matthew, thank God for his many blessings. After requesting a prayer, God has blessed me and my family with a new home and car. Please send me another gold book. I want you all to continue to pray for me. M.W. God, okay, I want to tell you about this guy. It's a really good story, and it's probably going to shock you. He had a car. It was a beat-up old station wagon, but it drove really good. And it was a 1986 station wagon, really piece of junk. And a roommate of his, well, it wasn't a roommate at the time. He owned it. His dad bought it for him for his birthday, and he paid $450 for it. And so it had a messed up computer and a couple other things wrong with it. They spent like about $1,500 on it, and it ran good, really good. And never had any problems with it. It drove, except for the radiator, needed to be cleaned. So the guy borrowed it, and a friend of his borrowed it, and he brought it back to him in good condition. And he told him, they told him it has trouble because the radiator needs to be flushed. And he said, I will do that. I will have the radiator flushed. And it turns out he didn't do that, and they thought he did, but he didn't. So, there's something else that happens to that car later, but so anyway, the guy kept borrowing the car over and over again because his car wasn't running good, and so I prayed about it to Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ told me they're going to hurt the car. And sure enough, they did. The car was broken into, the window was broken, the harnessing was cut, the battery was stolen. That was because he went to church. His friends are Islamics. The car was left out, and he parked the car 3 feet from the curb one day, and the back window was broken. Another time he was driving, he crashed the car on the right side, had to have the fenders removed, and he had new fenders put on. Thing was that they weren't the same color. So the car kept getting damaged, and he kept fixing the car, but now he had to paint the car, and he wouldn't. So the car eventually got junked. It was a good running car, but it got junked eventually. And so the guy had a friend who sells cars, and he bought a Mercedes from him, And the guy was really angry. He said, I could never afford a Mercedes. I can't even afford the parts for a Mercedes. Why are you giving me this? The other car I had was very cheap to fix. I mean, a Mercedes, if I take a Mercedes mechanic, it's going to cost 3 times the amount it would to have that car fixed. He says, well, just drive it now until I can get another car. Okay, that's fine. So drove the Mercedes for a year. It was a really nice car. You know, this guy pays his tithes. This guy does every, he was in church. So he got a free Mercedes Benz. Now, you ever drive a Mercedes Benz? Those things are smooth. It's like a race car, a smooth race car. So it drove really good. It was a good car. And eventually he took it back and just gave him money. And he didn't give him enough, really, compared to what the car costs to have repairs and what it costs. So the car was worth about $2,000, $2,200. And he gave him $1,000. And so he bought a truck. But the thing is that God will bless you. He will bless you. I mean, drove the car for a year, didn't have to do any maintenance on it or anything like that. The man who gave him the car was doing all that. And he was blessed with well over a year in Mercedes-Benz compared to the $450 piece of junk he was driving. By the time it was over, he had 2 cars, and the man kept trying to make it up to him his bad mistake he made on his vehicle. But both cars that he came up with wouldn't compare to what he had because it was from his dad for his birthday. And some people neglect to see that. But it was in the heart, so it should be good. This college class at campus says there are so many different ways God is willing to bless us and that He will bless us. And we have to receive that blessing and take it as a blessing. Some people aren't as financially stable, or they are more financially stable than what we know. But that's none of our business. Our business is that a man fess up to what he's done and repent and be right with God. And that's important to you. That's important to me. And it's important to College Classic Campus Hits. I tell ya. My name is TC. I hope you have a very wonderful morning. I'd like to tell you that Jesus Christ loves you.